What's up, guys? Welcome to Let's Play Gungrave Overdose! So, it's been about 2 years since the first Gungrave Let's Play, and I'm very, very excited to be bringing you guys this one. Almost nervous, in fact. I've been test playing the hell out of this game, almost non-stop, and been compiling a lot of information together to try to make this right. Let me make sure I have the right save file here. Okay, I think we're good. So, we're going to be playing as Grave here again. There's 3 playable characters to choose from. We'll be going into that a little bit later. This first video is mainly going to be talking about all the differences between this version, or this game, and the previous one. And one of those things is definitely going to be there's an English dub this time around, so I can't really talk over cutscenes as much. I'm going to be leaving all the cutscenes in, just like in the previous game. And this game is fully voiced with, like I said, an English dub. Grave still doesn't speak, obviously, but that's fine. We'll be fine with all the dots. There's text dialogue boxes during cutscenes as well. It's very anime style in that regard. This game continues the story of the previous game in quite visceral detail, actually, with great production quality. And it clears some things up that the anime had to clear up for it that it didn't explain very well.
It's just one girl. What's taking so long?
Mother, I thought it was all over. But now the nightmare is starting again. Can you forgive me for fighting? For waking him again? Please, watch over me, Mother.
Looks like Mika's on the run with no one to help her. She's a little bit older now. I like older Mika. She looks pretty badass, honestly. And I like her voice, too. Orgmen? That can't be.
You fought well, but you will fight no more. Human beings have limits. Training doesn't change that. I don't understand why resist us. If you joined us, you'd know absolute power. A joy no human could understand.
And give my soul to seed in return?
We have lost nothing. We are connected to a higher plane of existence.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Human beings are so foolish. But no matter. You have made your choice. Time to die.
I've really enjoyed this chat, but I don't have any more time to spend with you. I've protected you this far, Grave. Now I need you.
Beyond the grave.
You called? We got a new coffin, new jacket, same old Cerberus guns. It's been a little while. Let's give him a spin. Kick their ass! Alright, so right into the gameplay, we are going to be experiencing quite a few differences from the previous game. The first one is very obvious, and that is the movement has been increased dramatically from the previous game. We run a lot faster, we turn a lot easier, it feels so much better, so much more natural.
Another victim of Seed. Someone wants power so badly they've brought it back. So many people will suffer. Grave, I'm sorry,
It's okay.
Thank you. I need your help again, Grave. We have to stop them, and we have to protect Big Daddy's legacy. By the way, Grave, I'm 17 now, almost grown up.
Almost. You're still a kid. So 4 years have passed from this game to the previous one, so a lot could have happened in that amount of time. A lot could happen in 4 years.
Grave.
I managed to revive him somehow.
All right. Now you've got to get out of there. No time to chat. Enemy reinforcements headed your way. ETA is 30 seconds.
Roger that. We'll meet at the exit. Bring the truck around.
Be careful. Grave, take care of Mika.
He's a new friend. I'll introduce you later. Now, come on. Let's get going.
Alright, so Mika's going to be explaining us the basics of the gameplay, the fundamentals, and we're going to be talking over her and ignoring her and explaining the differences between the previous game and this one, because we already know all the basics. And playing as the other characters, we basically skip this whole tutorial sequence, but obviously it's mandatory to go through it as Grave, because this is the true version of the story, the most full version of the story. So the whole a lot can happen in 4 years thing is obviously a Halo 4 reference, because that was their way of just sweeping everything that had happened between the previous game and that one under the rug. Whereas in this one, this game is definitely trying to be as faithful to the continuity of the previous game as possible, while addressing some things that the game failed to explain, some more backstory that the anime cleared up, and because this was made after the anime, and but it uses the anime's music as well, but again, it's still in the same continuity as the first game, whereas, you know, Grave continues to live afterwards, of course, or not live, to be preserved, I should say. I guess he goes back to sleep, and Mika just kind of watches out for him, make sure that he's sustained. So, anyway, I made a brief trailer for this Let's Play. I put a lot of effort into it, a lot of editing, and I'm very ashamed to say that the copyright holder for the anime soundtrack flagged the video and banned it in the United States. Automatically, it's one of those YouTube copyright bullshit things, and I can't do anything about it, even though none of my videos are monetized whatsoever, and if they just took monetization and claimed it for themselves and put ads on the video, I wouldn't have mind, but they blocked it in the only country that matters, because the only country my audience is actually going to be watching it in, so I'm a bit salty about that still. Anyway, get to the actual differences in the gameplay. Again, the movement is so much better, so much more refined in this one. The lock-on is better. We can change targets that we're locked onto, even though that feature is not terribly reliable. Burst mode is the same. There's a difference with the way our shields regenerate now. Our shields take much longer to regenerate, and they only regenerate if we are not firing or meleeing. We have to not be doing anything. We basically have to be standing still or walking in order to actually regenerate our shields, which is pretty lame, but it definitely makes the game more balanced and encourages some smart gameplay as opposed to just running in and burst moding everything, which we don't have to just stand there and shoot in one place using burst mode all the time now, because we actually have good movement. So there's a maneuver you can do there where you can you can press down and hit circle to block with your coffin. I will almost never be using that. What I will be using is what she's explaining to us now about the rockets. I've already done it a couple times now. These enemies with rocket launchers, you can melee their rockets back at them. I will be doing that every opportunity that I can. As soon as I see a rocket coming at me, it's going return to sender, because for one, I'm not taking that damage. I'm not interrupting what I'm doing to dodge out of the way like I did in the first game, and if I can cause a lot of collateral by not only damaging the enemy that it came from, but using the splash damage to damage all the enemies around it, that's going to be very useful. So there's a melee combo in this as well, and there's also a charge shot we can do here, which if you charge it for long enough, you go into a bit of a combo. As Mika's explaining right now, your coffin combo is where you are running and meleeing, and it does a melee combo. And it's not especially useful. I use it occasionally, but the last hit, the charged hit, is very hard to actually land. As you can see there, I fail a lot of times. The shoot dodge is still the best way to deal damage rapidly and dodge enemy attacks. So I'm still going to be using that a lot, but not nearly as much as simply just side strafing and using the lock-on feature. There's no sprint button anymore like there was in the previous game. And that stupid, press forward on the analog stick to walk and shoot at the same time is gone. Like I said, the controls actually make sense in this game. This has got to be one of the most impressive improvements on for a sequel I've ever seen with the game, because the previous game was basically, a cult game. It had its nice little caveats here and there, but overall it was nothing impressive. And this game is amazing. This game is leaps and bounds ahead of what that game could offer, and it has 3 playable characters and a campaign that's easily 4 times as long. So, I mean, you go from like an hour-long campaign to like a 4-hour-long or a 4 or 5-hour-long campaign, and it's no contest. I mean, the amount of content that this game has compared to the previous game is unreal. So obviously we still have demolition shots. Because I've already played the game through once before, I've unlocked all the demolition shots for Grave. I haven't unlocked them for the other 2 characters yet, but we unlock them. We increase our demolition shot count the same way that we did in the previous game, just by getting our beat combo up high enough, and then we can unleash. The rocket is obviously the first one. They're separated into 3 separate categories: forward destructive attacks, AoE attacks, and then bullet time moves. So there's that famous rocket that we have there. Somebody pointed out to me during the Let's Play of the first game that Grave looks like he's inspired by the character from the Desperado movies, and that's one of the giveaways right there, is the way he does that side stance when he fires the rocket from his coffin. But it's very similar to how Antonio Banderas' character fires the rocket from his guitar case. And I've been very curious to check out that movie. I probably will over the course of this Let's Play.
Amazing beyond imagination.
This is Spike.
Who's the
He's
blonde?
the new friend I told you about.
Nice to meet
Looks
you.
like a punk.
Look, Grave. We can use this to see where Seed is coming from. And so, the hunt begins.
I don't know if it's ever explicitly stated what seed is in the previous game, but they basically retroactively attribute that to how the necrozation process happened, and also how Orgmen were created in the previous game.
He's still a child, but Spike is really something. You know that seed seeker I showed you earlier? He made it himself.
What do you mean, child? I want some respect.
3 years. It's already been 3
No,
years.
3 years,
since
not
Grey
4 years.
defeated the Millennium. I thought Seed was wiped out after the destruction of the autonomous city Billion. I was wrong. In the last year, Seed, the overwhelmingly powerful drug, has appeared in the city again. I met Spike when I was researching the problem. He had lost his memory and came to me just holding a vial of Seed. The 2 of us have been trying to figure out where Seed comes from and stop it ever since.
But everything happens in the underworld, so it's hard to get a lead on them. That's where the Seed Seeker comes in. Seed senses Seed, so we can use this little guy's reactions to detect the enemy. Cool, huh?
We've got to find them and smash them. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Please, help us, Grave.